Hello?
Yo,
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
what's good? What's going on?
I'm just tired as fuck right now.
Long night.
Yeah, it was a long night. I was at a what's it called football game last night.
Oh, good shit.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. They got shit on though, so
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was. I was just basically just being like it was like a social gathering, if you want to say almost. That's
Yeah,
basically all I go for the football games is just I go to talk and that's all I do.
yeah. My daughter, when we took her to the football game, like I said, she wanted to
Oh
play
yeah.
football. So she saw the field and she pointed to the field. She was like, "The field!" Yeah. We had to leave
Uh,
like after like the first 5 minutes of the first quarter. We did the escalator.
oh
We got
really?
her a souvenir. Yeah, because I
Mm.
mean, she's 3 years old. She plays soccer, so when she sees a field, she wants to run and play.
Did you try running on the field?
No, we can't. Security will send you to jail.
Oh yeah.
We'll be
I
on the
forgot about
field
that.
though. We'll be on the field for our holiday photos because as a season ticket holder, you get to take your holiday photos in MetLife Stadium.
Oh
So
shit.
we take the photos in the fields, in the locker room. So we've done it the past couple of years, except for last year because of COVID.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's a good time. It's and the field is AstroTurf. It's fake grass. So
Oh yeah, I love that field when it's
yeah,
fake
it's really
grass.
nice. It's
Yeah,
cool to see.
it's better than
You
that
know.
real shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's a lot nicer.
Yeah, of course. So we're gonna start off. Welcome
Here
back
we
to the
go.
podcast, and just wanted to introduce you for the third time. It's the third time, right? Yeah,
Third
third
time, number
time.
three.
We got a lot of shit to talk about today, right? Like a
Oh
lot.
yeah, we do. A lot of good
Hey,
stuff.
oh, guys, stay tuned to hear all this crazy shit, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So, what do you want to talk about? Like the first, we could talk about that story that you had that you texted me last night.
Yeah, whatever you want to rock and roll with, we can do.
Yeah, we can start off with that.
All right. So back in 2014, I was out the club for about 6 months already. The first club I was in,
Yeah.
and my tattoo artist had a friend. His name was Romeo. He was the founder of a club called Down for Life. They've been around like 20 plus years. He was the founder. So he was converting his club to an outlaw club. They started with sport bikes. They wanted to get into the Harleys. So he was converting his club little by little. So I remember it was like March of 2014 when I first met him. He pulled up, he had fucking 8 painters this fucking high. And, he pulled up and we started talking. He was wearing his cut, Down for Life, New York. And they were the first sport bike club that was actually sanctioned by the Hells Angels, which made history because they only fuck with Harleys. They don't fuck with sport bikes. So they were the first club
Oosh.
to support them to be on crotch rockets.
Oh,
And
damn.
then they converted to the Harleys. So he was basically just telling me, how long you've been out. Because the rule is you have 1 year. You can't join the club. You have to wait 1 year after leaving your first club. That's the unwritten rule in the outlaw culture. You have to wait 1 year if you want to join another club. If you want to do something else, it has to be an auto club. So we basically started talking, exchanged numbers. He said, when your year is up, you let me know. I said, well, I'll be out 1 year in October 13th,
Mm.
So when I was out for a year and I was good, we started talking more, and he actually had a guy in Jersey named Joey, also known as Trouble. He had a cousin. Yeah, that was his nickname. He liked to fight. So
Oh, God.
yeah, so he was a cool guy when I
I
met him.
was.
And
That's good.
his cousin was a high-ranking Hells Angels in New Jersey. So he was like, "Yo, something fell into my lap. It might interest you." So I remember it was like Christmas season around that time. He wanted to meet up at the diner in my neighborhood, and we met up, me, him, and my tattoo artist and his wife. And we went over there, and he was like, something fell into my lap. Do you want to start something? And he showed me, the logo, the name, and I was like, yeah. So he's like, okay. He's like, I'll let you know little by little how things are gonna move here and there, and we'll get it going.
Yeah.
So I think like in January of 2015, because my days off used to be Tuesday, Thursdays before
Not
I got
anymore?
Friday, Saturdays off. My days off from work, I used to have Tuesday,
Oh,
Thursdays off
oh
before I got
shit.
promoted to the better shift. Yeah,
Oh, better shit.
yeah. So he called me on a Monday night on my lunch break. He's like, "Yo, you want to go to New Jersey tomorrow? You want to meet the president of the club?"
Yeah.
I said, "Absolutely. I'm off. Let's go." So I was down. My tattoo artist, he was iffy. I don't know. he was phony. I don't.
Yeah, he's like
Turned out.
50-50.
Yeah, he turned out to be a real piece of shit anyway. So I cut him off.
Wow.
But but I'll talk about that later.
All right.
But yeah, I'll definitely go. So the next day he picked me up. It was Rome, this guy Nicky, this old school Italian dude, and me. And we drove to New Jersey. We got off exit 15E, like I told you, the industrial area. We got off there and we made like a right and a left and a left. And the clubhouse was fucking huge. It was like a fucking like big, huge compound, like 1,800 square feet. And we walked up in there. Yeah, place was huge, bro. Place could fit like easily 500 people.
God damn.
And yeah, it was a lot. And we get in there, we met the president, Joey, and we met the vice president. His name was fucking Bob.
What the fuck kind of name is that?
Well, Rob, but Bob for sure.
Oh, I thought his actual name was Bob instead of, oh God.
Nah. So we get in and we greet each other, pound and bring it in. He built a full bar with like beer behind. So he built a huge bar, wetback bar with stools and everything. So it was like a real professional place.
Yeah.
So we get in. He's like, my club has been around for 5 years. We're a support club for the Hells Angels. We want to open up New York. Him and Romeo knew each other for a long, long time. So Romeo retired from his old club, Down for Life. Now, when you retire from a club, you can do whatever you want. Like you can, you retire with your patches, you can hang them up, or you can still wear your colors. But when you retire, if you want to join another club, there's no rules that says you can't. So you're good if you want to start something else, because he wanted to be a 1%er. So I was in that league myself. So I didn't want to be anything else but a diamond. So in order for this to happen, you have to bring 5 guys in. So 5 guys makes a chapter. So you have your president, your vice president, your sergeant of arms, your secretary, and your row captain. So once you have 5 guys, your chapter's solid, you get patched in. So right now it was just 3 of us. There was a 4th guy. His name was Tank. Big fucking 6'6" black dude with a heart of gold.
Holy shit.
He looked like a fucking bouncer / drug dealer. He was a real cool guy. Like,
yeah, if you get to know him, like he's dope as fuck.
Yeah, like he's got like a Winnie the Pooh laugh. But nigga, fuck you up real talk. Yeah, that's how he is. That's how he is.
What the
That's how he is. But so it was the 3 of us that night, and I like what I heard. So I told Romeo, I'm in. He goes, okay, I'm in too. Nicky was in. Jojo had called us, and he's like, look, I have another guy I want you guys to look at. His name is Tank, who I just told you about. So we met him on a Thursday night at his bar in Tremont called Alfie's. Romeo went to go pick him up because he lived all the way down in Brooklyn, and it was winter, so we weren't riding yet. It was cold.
Yeah.
So we picked him up, brought him to the bar, and me and Nicky came outside and introduced ourselves to him, and now we had 4 guys. So we chopped it up that night. We got to know each other, and things were going good. So we needed a 5th guy. We had like the tattoo artist that I had didn't want to come in. We had a 5th guy. He wasn't a 1% club. He wasn't in it anymore, but he didn't have a motorcycle. He could buy one if he wanted to, but I guess he just didn't feel like it. So we said, well, we can't really bring someone in that doesn't have a bike. So we're going to have to figure this out. Right now it's 4 of us. We'll figure a 5th guy down the road. So we had our first official meeting the following Thursday in the Newark, New Jersey clubhouse. So it was me, Romeo, Tank, and Nicky. We had our first official meeting in New Jersey because we didn't have a place of our own to have our meetings in New York. We found the bar eventually, but this was like our first meeting with Mother Charter. And that night we met all the guys from Jersey, all the brothers from Jersey. And I mean, it was nothing but love. These guys were solid, legit. There wasn't one person from New Jersey that had an attitude or didn't want to shake my hand. Everybody was legit. So it was their meeting too. And they included us in it, because they had their meetings on Fridays, but because we did Thursdays, because my only days off were Tuesday and Thursday. So it was my only day to really be in the meeting will be Thursdays. So they're like, all right, Gerry has to work Friday through Monday. Let's make Thursdays our meeting. Could have been Tuesday too, but Thursday was just better for us. Yeah,
Thursday sounds better.
So because it's like the weekend.
Yeah.
So we had our first meeting there. Now, Nicky came from a club. He came from the Satan Soldiers, which is the #1 club in the Bronx. That's the 1% Club in the Bronx that's been around in the Bronx for a long time. So they control the Bronx. So if you ever want to open anything up in the Bronx, you got to go through them. They tell you no, it's no. Simple as that. You got to follow the rules. He used to be a member of that club, and he was kicked out. And I asked him what happened. He told me that they had a meeting, and one of the guys in the club asked him, look, God forbid something happened to me, who's going to take care of my family? Nicky told him, shut the fuck up. You can't think about that type of shit. This is a 1% club. Stop acting like a bitch. And they got into a fight. They got into a fist fight. And I understand, because if so, in a 1% club, it's all about family. So
Hey,
God forbid something happens to you, you want the brothers to do something for your family. You don't want them to
yeah, of
just like
course.
say, okay, let's have a funeral, hasta la pasta. You want these brothers you came up with to, check up on your family.
Yeah.
So the guy he fought, was a fucking big, solid Italian dude, and Nicky actually won the fight. But 2 weeks later, he was coming in the clubhouse for a meeting, and they jumped him out. He walked in, they hit him with a baseball bat, they beat him up, and they took his patches off. So he was, and the best part was they told him, we're putting you out, and you have to pay a stupid tax. You have to pay us $2,500. You could pay us $100 a week, whatever. But because you want to be an asshole, this is what's going to happen to you.
2,500. Holy fuck.
Yeah. He was an accountant, so he was good for the money, but he was being a dick.
Yeah, I could tell.
So he was not put out bad, but he was kicked out of that club. So I said, okay, no big deal. He was going to just say, look, they'll know when I come out little by little with the patches. I said, all right. So everything's going good. We got 4 guys. We're having our meetings. We found the bar in Tremont. It was called the Boulevard. It was like a rundown bar, but it was quiet. So we could sit in the back, have our meetings, talk about the riding season, and basically get ready. Our first official road day was going to be in April. We were going to ride up to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, get a motel for the weekend, and hang out there. So we were planning that. Now, me and Romeo were getting very tight because I met him back in March, and we're clicking, we're talking every day, hanging every day. He takes me to a clubhouse in Queens. He's like, I want to introduce you to this club in Queens. They were called the NWO. They weren't an 81 support club, but they were a big club. They were in, they were part of the Ghetto coalition. Like that, there's a club called the Crazy Pistons. They control the New York ghettos. So they have a coalition of their own, and they were part of that. So we went down to hang out, and we met the founder of the club, Lost Boys, Ish Morales. Good guy. So very good man. We get in there, and he's like, yo, come here, I gotta tell you a story to Romeo. He goes, this dude from your club was talking shit about you, and the guy from Satan Soldiers punched him in the mouth and knocked his fucking tooth out. So Rome's like, oh, really? Well, that's nice. I'm like, oh, shit. So this is the story. So his old club had something personal with him and didn't want him to come back out in the scene. So Joe Canoli, shout out to him, was at a coalition party, and this guy from Down for Life, they called him Negro, tall, dark-skinned Dominican dude, was basically running his mouth about Romeo, like talking shit about him. And Joe Canoli fucking knocked his tooth out. On top of that, the president from Satan Soldiers got into a fight with another president from a Queens chapter over Romeo. Again, about whatever situation, got into a fight. So, as you can tell, clubs are fighting for this guy because his reputation is being soiled. They're labeling him, first they said he was a thief. He stole money from the club and he bought a Mercedes-Benz. I said, no, he's never owned a Mercedes in his life. He's always drove in a Beamer, never rode a Mercedes. Then they tried to say he was a cop. And I laughed. I said, really? I said, that's funny, a cop? Yeah, come out with something better, dickhead. And, then they came out with he was a rat. Now, which is he called the cops on somebody.
Yeah, he's a snitch.
So,
yeah, I know that.
Now, to the viewers who don't really know the culture, I'm going to explain how this works in our world. If you're labeled a snitch, it's not like a gang or the mafia. Nobody gets murdered. We investigate this. And when you're from the streets, everything that black and white is everything. So we want to see the paperwork. You can find the paperwork online. It's not hard to get paperwork of a rat. You can get it. We want to make sure we're going to investigate it. And if you are a rat, we're going to put you out bad to the point that no one's going to fuck with you. So, people say, oh, if you're a rat in the club, they'll kill you. No, we investigate it. If it's true, if you talk to a cop, if you signed off on something, if you did something, you're put out bad. Nobody's anything to do with you. And if we see you in the street, we're not going to jump you. You're already put out bad. So it's like, why are we going to waste our time with you? We're not a gang or a club. We're not going to jump you unless you violated someone's old lady or you did something really wrong. Like if you're a pedophile or a sex offender.
Yeah.
That's another thing. You cannot be a pedophile or a law enforcement officer if you want to be in a 1% club. Those are no-nos because we don't fuck with that.
I'm going to be none of those. I'll tell you that.
No. And if you're a pedophile, you better run.
Know.
We're going to fucking beat you to the ground.
How many pedophiles have you came across?
None.
No, thank God.
But I'm saying it's
because
1% clubs, they background check you.
Oh,
they make you pay for the background check, and they want to see what comes back. So if it comes back that you were on the job, disqualified. If it comes back that you're a sex offender or a pedophile, go fuck your mother because you're not coming in here. So all this shit is going on, and now the president from New Jersey goes, listen, you guys can't open up this chapter until this situation is handled. Rome is labeled a rat. We know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm telling Joe, I'm like, all right, so we got to fucking sit down with this president. We got to get this paperwork. We got to see what the fuck is going on. I'm not just going to take your word. I want to see the proof that he's a snitch. Show it to me. Don't just say he's a rat, because when he was labeled a rat, everybody was kind of acting different towards him.
Oh.
And I didn't understand that because he took me to a clubhouse in Queens, the Bridge Runners. They're a very well-known 1% club. I'm not sure if they're still around, but he took me there one night and he knew everybody in the club. And we get in, the prospects were outside, and they asked, when you're a prospect, you don't just let anybody in. You have to ask, who are you? Who knows you? So they went upstairs to get, whoever, and they let us in. So we go upstairs, and I noticed when we got up to the room and we opened the gate, everybody kind of like the president, he walked to the back. Like he didn't even say hello to Rome or me. And a lot of people kind of like went to the back, except for the sergeant of arms, who came up, gave Romeo a big pound and a hug. He said, listen, you're good with me, but because of the situation you haven't handled yet, you're not allowed to be here.
Oh.
So he goes, no, it's okay. I understand. And, I shook a couple guys' hands, but then he told me, let's roll. So we get back in the car. He's like, I'm sick of this. I said, yeah, we need to call the president of your club and we need to handle this now. He goes, okay. So the following Tuesday, we had plans to go to Long Island and, just go to a sports bar and hang out for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So as we get to Long Island, the president, Joey, calls us. He goes, listen, I got the phone call from the old man from HA. You need to go handle your business right now. Like right this minute, go get that information right now. So I'm like, we're already in Long Island. I'm like, the fuck, really? We got to do this shit now? So Rome's like, all right, I'll call you back. He looks at me. So this was the rule. So Romeo was the president. Nikki was the vice president. I was the sergeant of arms. So I was the enforcer of the club. So it was my call on what to do. He goes, what do you want to do? I said, first things first, we don't know if this actually came from HA. You need to get in your phone and call the old man on 3rd Street and talk to him on the phone now to verify. Is it coming from them for us to go see the president, or is it coming from someone else? He goes, he's not going to answer my phone call. I said, Romeo, you got a best friend who's a Hell's Angel. He's a high-ranking one. Get your fucking phone out and call him now. This is not a joke. This is your reputation on the line here in the biker world. Get him on the damn phone, or I'll call him myself. He goes, no. I said, son of a bitch. I said, what's going on with you? I said, did you do something? Tell me now. I said, did you do something? Because it'll be a lot easier on yourself. You tell me, and we can just vote you out bad. He goes, no. I said, okay. I said, we're going to do this. We're going to do this the right way. I said, give me some info on the president. The president was a high-ranking member of the Bloods street gang. He got the nickname Guns. Yeah, he was an OG. He did time in federal prison, and he was up there. You know, he did time in federal prison. He was a Golden Glove boxer, so he knew how to scrap. And I'm like, okay, so he's an OG Blood. He's a Golden Glove boxer. Now he's an outlaw biker. And he's up there in the gang food chain. So I said, okay. I said, well, I'm only, so we called JoJo back and we told him, all right, so this is coming from the top. So we're going to go see Frank right this minute. And we're going to ask him to produce the evidence that Romeo's a snitch. He goes, yes, go now. He goes, go pick up Tank, pick up Nikki, go now. I said, done. So I told Rome, I said, okay, before anything, you got to take me to my house first. I got to pick something up because this guy's a street guy, former gang banger. I don't know what I'm walking into, and I don't know what I'm going to bring these guys into. Take me home first. So we get back to my house, Marshall Parkway, and I said, I'll be right back in 2 minutes. I run upstairs to my house. I was still living at home at the time because my apartment wasn't ready yet. So get into my house. My parents still up. And I said, I forgot something. I'll be right back. You know, went into my room, went into my armoire, which is a fancy dresser, opened the door, and I grabbed my strap, which is a gun.
Oh, yeah.
And I put it in my waist, closed it up. I ran back downstairs. And I said, let's go. Let's go. I called Tank. I said, yo, we're coming to pick you up. We got to go handle the situation now with Rome and his old club. We got to go find out if he's a rat or not. Get dressed. By the way, I'm strapped. You need to be strapped too, because we don't know what we're walking into. He goes, all right, I just gotta make a phone call. I said, make it quick. Let's go. He lived like 55 minutes away in Brooklyn. You had to take the FDR to the Jackie Robinson Highway. It was a pain in the ass.
Fuck that.
I was like, my night was ruined. So then I call this piece of shit Nicky, right? He's an accountant and he did some sort of like slick shit on his taxes. So he kind of got arrested. You know, you're an accountant. How you going to fuck up your taxes?
Yeah, wait, what?
So I called him. I said, yo, you got to get dressed. No. I can't go. So what the fuck you talking about? I said, we have to go. When it's time to go, it's time to go. No. I can't. If I get caught, I can go back to jail. He's got me on speakerphone. His wife is yelling in the background. I said, Nick, this isn't a choice. I said, get fucking dressed. Let's go. I don't want to hear it. This is one of those times when it's time to go. It's time to go. No, I refuse to go. I said, you're refusing to go. I said, okay, no problem. Just when we have our meeting on Thursday, you will no longer be the VP. You're lucky you'll be in this club anymore. And I hung up the fucking phone on him. I said, this fucking motherfucker. They got me tight because he had the nerve. He didn't want to come outside. So he puts me on speakerphone and his wife's in the background screaming because she knows he's on probation. But you're not supposed to do that. You never do that. That got me very angry. And got Rome pissed off too. He's like, yo, I've known this man 20 plus years. He's been in 2 1% clubs, but he was kicked out of both of them. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, why was he kicked out of 2 1% clubs? We know why the Satan Soldiers kicked him out. You know, look at this. I said, so we drove down to Brooklyn and we picked up Tank. The first thing he goes is, where's our VP? I said, oh, our VP? Oh, he's scared to go to jail. So he decides to stay home. It's the middle of February. It's fucking freezing outside. There's snow on the ground. But it was the 3 of us were in this big ass truck and we're heading back to the Bronx. That's when Romeo says, listen, I can't go in the clubhouse. I said, what are you talking about? I said, this is your problem. I said, you need to squash this. He goes, no. If they see me walk in the building, they're gonna come out and they're gonna run up on me. I said, Rome, no one's gonna touch you. I said, no one's gonna touch you. You're with me. But he said, look, I gotta stay in the car. I can't go in the clubhouse with you. I said, okay. Then he tells me the clubhouse, it's a fucking residential building. Now, you're not supposed to go to someone's house where they sleep to conduct club business. I said, you're telling me that the clubhouse, which is in the basement and it's freaking huge because the guy was a super. The president was a super. Frank was a super. I said, you're telling me this now? It's a freaking building? I said, all right. Now I'm getting mad. I'm like, this is ridiculous. You tell me it's a building. I said, it's too late to turn back now. We got to do it. So we get to the Bronx. We get to the building. Romeo parked at a gas station. He's like, listen, I'm at a gas station. We pulled in. He's like, I can see everything. I can intercept if I have to. I said, all right. I look at Tank. I said, you ready? Let's go. Open up the truck. Slam the door. And we start walking towards the building. My heart's beating 100 miles a minute. I've never done this before. I don't know what to expect. So my heart's beating. It felt like the longest walk of my life. It's like I died and I'm walking to meet God.
Yeah.
He's about to judge me if I'm going to go to heaven or hell. And it's like the longest fucking walk. And I look around and what do I see? I see a fucking cop car. I'm like, shit.
Ah, shit.
I'm like, God damn. But in a way, I kind of felt because I'm like, shit, if they come outside and we're outnumbered, we got to pull out our gun. Shit, these guys are going to be here too.
Yeah.
So we start walking to the building. We get up the steps and I rang his bell. And rang his bell. We waited. No answer. I got his number. I called him. I said, Frank, this is Gerry, Sergeant of Arms of so-and-so club. You need to speak to me. I'm in your lobby of your building right now. It's a very important matter that you get in contact with me. Call me back as soon as possible. I'll be here a little while longer, but I got to go. So I called Joey, president from Jersey. I told him, listen, he's not answering the door. He goes, all right. He goes, you know what? Fuck it. He goes, don't do anything. Go back. We'll figure something else out. We get back to the truck. Now we had to drive all the way. We had to drive back to Brooklyn.
Oh, God.
And then back to the Bronx. So we get in the car and I told Tank, I said, man, you got a big heart, man. You got a lot of balls. He goes, yeah, so do you. And so we drove him back home. And I told Rome, I said, look, when it comes to the meeting on Thursday, Nick is done. I don't give a fuck. What he did tonight was atrocious. Yeah. He goes, let's see what happens. The next day was the best part. Now the club is upset. Now they call Rome. Oh, you came to our fucking building. You rang the bell. Oh, now you guys are going to get your fucking ass whooped.
Oh, okay.
I said, my man, you're talking this shit hours after I came to talk to your president. I didn't come on beef. I only had a gun on me because I didn't know what to expect. The guy's an OG blood. He doesn't know who's ringing his bell. Could be a cop, could be the feds, could be rival gang members, could be dealers. You don't know a guy's mentality. Now the club is all up in arms. Oh, who told you to do that? HA gave the order. So instead of coming outside and talking to me and Tank and providing us with the information that Rome was if he was a rat or not, they decide to run to 81, which is the HA. And they asked them, did you tell these guys to come to our house? They said, no, we never gave such an order. So now I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck just happened?
Because now I said, we got a call from Joey, and he said that it came from them. And then the light bulb went off. He gave the order. He wanted to cover his ass because he didn't want to get in trouble and said it came from them. So now it's a big mess. Now Down for Life they're furious at us. HA is more than furious at us. And the president called me and he goes, who told you to do that? I said, you. I said, you call me and Romeo and said, we got to go handle our business. I said, yes, but why was Romeo waiting in the truck? Why wasn't he with you? I said, how'd you know that? the club, the building has cameras, and they know what truck he drives, and it can see like 100 yards down.
What?
And they told 81, well, these two guys came out to come see us. Romeo stayed in the truck. He didn't have the balls to come outside and come talk to us. So the club is mad. HA is mad in three different ways. They're mad at us because we ran into someone's house and rang the bell. But they also admired what we did. What they said we did was brave. It was loyal. Took a lot of heart. But it's also stupidity. Could have got you hurt. Could have got you killed for doing stuff like that. But then they're mad at Down for Life. They're like, well, these two kids ran into your house. You didn't have the nerve or the balls to go outside and talk to them? He goes, instead, you ran to us. You hid inside the clubhouse. You didn't come to talk to them, but you run to us. That's a bitch move.
Yeah.
He said these two guys didn't know what they were walking into, but for their friend, they risked it all. And you guys didn't even go outside. You guys, they were like, fuck out of here. Yeah. What they were really mad about was that Romeo stayed in the truck. Because two people fought for him, as I told you earlier. Two people fought for him.
Yeah.
Me and Tank were willing to risk our life to get this information that we knew was bullshit. We knew he wasn't a rat. But the club didn't come to the door because they knew they had nothing. But we were the only two pit bulls that were able to run up in there and had the balls to try to get that information. So this was what was decided. Originally, we were supposed to get our ass kicked by 81. We were supposed to go down to the clubhouse and just get smacked up. Rightfully so.
Oh, shit.
But they understood we were doing things under false pretenses and we were just following command. This was their words. They said what Gerry and Tang did was admirable. It was brave. It was loyalty. That's hard to find nowadays. Nothing's going to happen to them. As a matter of fact, this is what he told Joe. As a matter of fact, take those two guys, put them in your chapter. You need those two guys. They're going to be good for you. Fuck New York. Put them in New Jersey. Even the president from Down for Life, he came out. He goes, "I respect what they did, but if they ever do that again, it's going to be a problem." I never got the pleasure of meeting him. I wish I would have. And then HA came out and they said, "Here's the story. Romeo was put out bad. He didn't want to handle his business. These two kids risked their lives and their well-being for a friend to protect him, and he didn't want to protect himself." They said, what if something would have happened that night? What if they would have came out? He would have stayed in the fucking truck and let the two of you get click-clacked on? Yeah. What would have happened? And I thought about that myself too, which is what I'm going to talk to you about in a little bit. So later that night, that was the decision that was Thursday. Decision was made. So me and Tank were like, "Bro, we came this close to like really getting into trouble." I said, "Yeah, but look at what happened. Like now, people in the bike world know that me and you, we're not just about this. We're about action. We're not going to take your word. If you're labeling my brother a rat, we're going to come at you. We're going to see. We want that proof. We're not just going to sit around and follow suit. I'm not a trendsetter." So that Saturday night, I was off from work. I had a personal day. There was two birthday parties. One was for a guy named Sandman. The other was for a Hells Angels girlfriend. So we were invited to go. It's unbelievable. Word traveled about me and Tank, what we did from New York all the way to New Jersey. He had people come up to us like, "Oh shit, I heard what you did. Man, what the fuck? You guys are crazy, but we fucking respect what you did." There was a brand new full patch member of the Hells Angels. His name was Diesel. He was a young guy. He purposely came to that clubhouse to speak to me and Tank. He was like, "Yo, I heard what you guys did." And he's laughing. He's like, "Man, you guys are fucking stupid, but you guys are fucking loyal as hell. And I've never seen that in my life. You guys are really brave for what you did. But that guy that you were protecting didn't want to protect himself. So you really got to think about things. You got to think about who you're running with." Those were his words. And I said, "Yeah, you're right." So me and Tank, we started to talk that night amongst ourselves. Do we want to continue this? Because we're the only two wolves among sheep. Not even that.
Yeah.
Do we want to fight for someone who's not going to fight for themselves? And let alone some scumbag who didn't want to even help out, sat in his apartment all night long when we went out there in the cold. Because listen, in the 1% culture, there's going to come times you're going to have to stand up for yourself.
No, yeah,
and
of course.
That night was one of those times. And it actually, for me, it was an eye-opener. And now I think about that story a lot now that I'm in my 30s, because I was young. I was 26, and I was very young. I was loyal to the wrong people. But when you're young and you're eager and you're in a club, of course you're going to defend your people.
Yeah, of course.
But now I'm in my 30s. Now I know the game a lot better. And it's like, I could have got hurt that night. I could have lost my life. I wasn't married at the time. Me and my wife haven't started dating yet. But still, I was 26. There's a reason they didn't come to that door. Who knows? Maybe the angels above were like, you know what? We have to show you who you're hanging with. This is the situation they're putting you in. No one's going to come through that door, but look at the situation you're in. So me and Tank, we decided to say, fuck this. We're not going to open up a charter in New York for this club. We love the club. It's not the club. It's the people. It's Rome wasn't what the 1%er was about. He was a great guy. I love to ride with him. He was great to hang with. He's a great guy. But when it comes to being a diamond, he does not have the heart. He's not built like that. And it's not about being tough or super gangster, but when your name is being soiled, why wouldn't you defend yourself? Why were you sitting around and letting people bash you? I never understood that.
Yeah,
but I was the only one and Tank that were willing to stand up for you. And people recognize that. So it was funny. So the party Saturday night, some guy spilled the drink. Oh shit, I'll clean that up. You don't have to come to my door. I said, no, I don't give a fuck. We met so many 1%ers that night, and they were just schooling us on, look, what you guys did took a lot of bravery, but you have to remember too, this lifestyle is not about that. It's about protocol. It's about getting the information the right way. What you guys did, we're not saying what you guys did was wrong. It was, but it wasn't. But we admire that. But you guys are young, and you got to really look at the circle you're in. There's plenty of 1% clubs you can join that would love to have you. And it's true. Look, to this day, I've been offered to join a club, but I say no. And I'll tell you why. I've decided I'm not going to join a club. I'm going to remain an independent outlaw because I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Been there, done that. The best part about my life is I ride, I go to work every day, I travel with my wife and my daughter, I make sure they're good. My daughter's in school now, and I don't want to prospect. I don't want to have to put my wife and daughter second and put the club first.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. You know what? So I'm going to remain independent and go from there. Maybe one day there comes, and like I said, I don't have to join a 1% club. It could be a regular club that I meet down the road that's got the same values as I have. But of course, I come from an elite organization, so of course I want to stay elite. But I don't need to wear patches to signify who I am. People know me. They know who I am.
Hey.
So it's like, you know what? I was young back then, and I'm grateful that I came into the motorcycle culture young, because now everything that I've learned, I can pass down to my daughter. I can say, look, this is what you got to look out for in life. This is the people you got to watch out for. Don't run with these people. If you're a wolf, you got to run with wolves, because when you got sheep in your squad, it's always going to be a downward spiral.
Yeah, of course.
So that the reason I told that story is because I've been thinking about that the past few weeks, and I'm like, that fucking night, it solidified me as a solid, biker and someone who is willing to, stand up for that diamond. But then I also realized these guys weren't willing to, they wouldn't have done that for me. So why was I going to do that for somebody?
Yeah, why are you risking your life?
Yeah, you live and you learn. And unfortunately, for Frank Guns Rosado, he was murdered 2 years ago. Very sad.
Yes, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he was murdered. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. This was the last club he belonged to.
East Coast.
So I'm wearing the support shirt for him in his honor.
That's something nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll see him again one day so I can let him know. I didn't come to your house that night for beef. I just came to get that information. But Yeah, he was killed outside of his house, man. It's a
Fucking sad.
harrowing shit.
Yeah.
You know, young guy, 51 years old, married, kids, grandkids. Very sad.
Yeah, that sucks. So, if you don't mind, if you'd like to share the story of like the tattoo artist, if you don't mind.
So, yeah. So my tattoo artist, I knew him since I was 4 years old.
Oh damn.
And he used to work with a family member of mine at the supermarket in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So in 2010, a local tattoo shop opened up in my neighborhood. And I'm very good with faces and I remember people. So when I walked in, his wife was doing like all the sketching, and I said I wanted to get a tattoo done. I wanted a cross on my back, have a Celtic cross.
Yeah.
So he came out of the bathroom. I said, "Oh shit, you're Oscar from the fucking supermarket." He goes, "Yeah." I said, "You used to work with my sister," and then I said her name. He's like, "Oh shit, are you allowed to be here?" As a joke. So I said, yeah. So we started talking, and he tattooed me up, and then I went back to him. He did like all my tattoos except for the one on my neck. He did all my tattoos, and then we started getting close. And like I said, when I told him I wanted to get into the motorcycle clubs, he was in a club and he brought me around. And well, he wasn't a member. We prospected together. So he was waiting for me to, make a decision, and I did, and we came into the club together. And he was a tattoo artist, but at the time he wasn't really working. So he was working out of his house, but didn't have a lot of clientele. When you have a tattoo shop, you got people coming in and out. He got kicked out of the shop, for whatever he did, and he was working out of his house. So I was getting tattoos from him, and then we prospect together. So he basically, when you're in the club, the dues, every club has dues. So like you'll pay like whatever, pay $40 every other week or $80 a week for the club. That's for them. So remind you, he was struggling, so I was helping him out. I was paying his dues for him. I even gave him a motorcycle to ride because he didn't have one. I actually went out and got him one as a gift because I didn't want him to be left out.
Yeah, of course.
He couldn't afford one. So, I got him. I actually bought the bike for me, but at the time it was too big for me. So I gave it to him and I got my Softail. So we started riding, and then it's like, as soon as I started hanging out with Romeo and I met my wife, started hating on me. I'm like,
huh?
What's the fucking problem, dude? Like, I don't understand. You didn't want to come into the club. That's not my problem. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing because you're left out. You choose to be that way, not me. So, I started to see his funny colors. And then one night he got stupid with me and I said, okay. And me, I just cut you off. He tried to text me the next day. Sorry the way I came out. Nope. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. So I started basically putting distance between them. And, he would try to hit me up and I would ignore him. And then like a month before my wedding, he wanted to meet up and talk. I said, fine, let's just get this over with. So, typical snake. He pulls up. He's like, oh, why you avoiding me? I said, I'm done with you. I said, dude, you're a two-faced, backstabbing, disloyal, jealous motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he was having, like, if I'm not talking to you for a reason, he's having people look on my Facebook to see what I'm doing. You're a grown man.
Like, that's just a bitch move.
You're looking at you're having another grown man look at my page. That's like some weird, that's not weird to you?
That sounds weird and also gay. That sounds a little weird.
Like,
I'm gonna be honest. No, that's fucking
like,
weird.
Is this dude like catching feelings or something? Because this is weird.
He has like a weird obsession with your Facebook or some shit.
Yeah,
like
I'm
that.
like, yo, why are you stalking my Facebook page? Like, that's weird. I said, I'm doing what's best for me. I did a lot for you. Now I'm done with you. And that's how it was. Of course, he knew he fucked up and he tried to be in my good graces. He fucked over Cisco too, and Cisco cut him off too. Look at that. So when me and Cisco reconnected and we were like, yo, I was like, I don't fuck with him anymore. He's like, I don't either. Like, he's a piece of crap. I said, oh, so I can tell you what happened. You can tell me what happened. So we went from there. But yeah, he turned out to be just jealous. He's a liar. He's a thief. He's also a rat. So,
he's everything.
He got kicked out of the tattoo shop because he was stealing.
How the
So,
fuck you do that?
well, here's the thing. So his partner opened up a tattoo shop under his name for him and told him, the shop is under my name, but you're in charge of the bills and everything else. I'm not the tattoo artist, you are. Because his credit was trash. This guy's credit was phenomenal. So he did him a favor. You know, if you open up a tattoo shop for somebody out of the kindness of your heart, that's generosity.
Yeah.
Because you got good credit. But that was the rule. Like, you know what? You're in charge of everything. And he wasn't letting the other tattoo artists do any tattoos. He was being selfish. So, you know, that's just greedy.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, this is my shop. You can leave. So he told the owner what happened. The owner came back and told him to kick fucking rocks. Rightfully so. But I didn't find this all out till years down the road, you know, because you don't know everything.
Yeah.
You know, Oscar, piece of shit motherfucker, you know, he walks around playing the victim card and tells a story, blah, blah, blah. He lied that he was with the Hells Angels. He's full of shit. I saw right through his bullshit so many times, not even funny. You know,
Sounds
it's
like a
when the last
bitch.
time I mean, just like being a punk move. Like, you know, when I met my wife and I started traveling and, you know, putting my needs first instead of anybody else's, it was like, why are you hating on me?
Yeah,
I
what
said,
is
dude,
there to hate about?
I've done a lot for you. It's time for you to step up as a man and take care of your own business.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to take care of you all the time. You're lucky I helped you. I gave you a fucking bike, and this is how you pay me back? No problem.
Yeah.
So he's a piece of shit. He can go fuck himself. I haven't seen or talked to him in years. You know, out of sight, out of mind. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, of course. Always ignore or try to avoid it because, like, when you got pussies like
Yeah.
that, it's just they'll fuck you over and fuck your life over. Honestly,
Yeah, man.
it's
But that's why
crazy
my
how that shit
circle's
works.
small. You know,
Yeah,
that's why my circle's small. That's why it's me, Cisco, you know, you, of course, my wife, my best friend, Dara, you know, so. Oh, yeah, so I hope the viewers know we're really blood cousins. We're not making that up. I want the viewers to know. Like, look,
yeah,
I
yeah.
get it. I get it.
Oh yeah,
I'm
this is
this.
not an act. This is not an act.
I look like a fucking Aryan, tattooed white boy from the Bronx, and he's a dark-skinned Spanish kid. But we're really blood cousins. We're not making that up.
Yeah, no, we're
His
actually blood
mom,
cousins. Yeah.
his mom is my cousin. His mom and my dad are brother and sister. So, and that's where Uncle RJ, cousin Mike, we're cousins too. You know, so we're all one big family. We're not
Yeah.
trying to get the ratings up. You know.
Yeah, no, there's no act to get
Yeah.
views up or anything like that. I mean,
I was thinking about that too. I'm like, do these viewers actually like? I hope they know we're really family. They're not trying to like, oh, they say they're cousins, but look how white this guy is.
yeah,
And
no.
look how Spanish, you know.
Yeah, no, we're actually cousins, blood related. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we really are. That's the
Yeah.
thing, because because you know how people like if they're friends, they say, oh, that's my cousin. Like me and my tattoo artist said we were cousins because we were friends for so many years.
You're that close
That's
to
how
each
we,
other. Yeah, I
yeah,
got people
that's
like
how.
that.
Yeah, it was like cousins and shit. So just so the viewers get an understanding that we're really cousins.
Oh yeah, no, this is actually a true family thing.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of cousins, speaking of my lovely punk bitch cousin Michael,
Oh,
RJ
yeah.
Princeton,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
I was about to
Hold on a
mention that.
second.
I was about to mention
Hold on.
that.
You knew this was coming. You knew
Yeah,
this
of course
was
I know
coming.
it's coming. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because see, cousin Mikey, I'm gonna say Mikey.
Yeah, he can own Mikey.
Cousin Mikey, he has to go back and watch our first interview. I didn't say I had an issue with preparatory college kids. I said we got into a football fight with a preparatory school. Yes, I don't like preppy kids. I admit that's what I said. So I said we got into a fight, a football brawl with a preparatory school. You know, the white boys who take steroids and wear polo shirts. So now Mike wants to shots fired. So I decided to make this a Ghetto podcast original.
I bet. Oh, you got shit.
I decided to write a little poem of my own. And this is dedicated to my lovely cousin who shots fired first. So this is on you, cuz. Okay.
I see this. Can't wait.
Hold on a second. Let me take a sip of coffee. I hope he's watching this.
Oh, I'll send him this clip. I'll cut this clip and I'll send it to him personally.
So let me start from the top. Roses are red. Preppy boys are whack. RJ Tunson came to the Bronx and he got fucking smacked.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's too funny.
Bro, I'm definitely gonna have to send that to his
You
reaction
knew
is.
it was coming.
Yeah. I didn't know you're gonna make a whole poem. I'll be
Oh
honest.
yeah.
Bro, I mean
I
that
told
is
you. I told you. You know,
because
he knows it's all
he
love.
said
Yeah.
something about I don't know what I forgot what he said about you.
I really liked his interview because I never really asked him how he got his name, RJ. That's a really creative thing he did.
Oh yeah,
That was a
yeah,
really cool because I never even asked him myself, how'd you come up with that name? And the fact that tungsten was a metal was pretty, interesting,
oh, I didn't
and
know
stuff
that at
like that.
all.
Because it is true what he said. Like when you're starting something new, especially when it's poetry, you don't want to tell people right away because how they're going to react. He
Oh, people
did
are gonna
that.
bash on you. That's at anything.
That's a very valid point.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really cool thing that he that interview. I really liked that a lot. That
Yeah,
was
no, of
cool.
course. I mean, it's
I think
basically
the
like
one with Tuttle was nice too. That
oh,
was
total.
cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like that one.
That was a
And
good interview, man.
yeah, that one. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. It was a quick one though because he had to go somewhere. I think so. It was a
Yeah, I
little.
know. I know the past couple ones you've had were kind of quick, 25 minutes, 16, but it's all
Um,
good as long as you're
no,
actually
my
enjoying it.
recent one was I think like 25 minutes because like there was
Yeah,
more than
with
one person.
like 3, 4 people on there.
I had three. Yeah, I had three.
Three,
It
yeah,
was me and then three others. It was crazy. It was like
yeah,
a whole like company slash team. It's actually pretty
yeah,
interesting. But it was just, like I had like a certain time limit because of the free Zoom.
yeah,
I do one on ones.
yeah. No, that's good. That's great.
Yeah,
That's
of
why
course.
this is our third. I know that still
Mhm.
the most viewed on this podcast, which is great.
Oh yeah, no, they
That
are. I was actually scrolling through all my like videos
me
on
too. I'm
YouTube.
still.
I
We
was
got
just
the
scrolling
first
down. I
one.
was like, oh shit, I've already done
Yeah,
this
man.
many
I think
episodes.
I think this one's definitely gonna hit 100 with the story I told.
All right, we'll
I
make sure
hope
it
so.
hits 100. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because I know
because the second one hit 86, and then the first one is either 90 or 91, somewhere around that. I'm not too sure.
I checked last night. It was 90.
90,
And the last time I checked, the second one was 85. It could have went up to 86, but
85.
yeah,
Yeah, it's either 85 or 86. I don't 100% know, but yeah, it's around that number. It's
yeah,
still the most viewed. So
yeah. So yeah, like I said, so the guy that I went to go see that night, Frank Guns, he was killed 2 years ago. This is the support shirt for the club that he was in. He was a member of the Pagans. So East Coast 16, as you can see,
oh shit.
see the lightning bolts, what I told you about?
Yeah.
It's got that. So
Does the
their
lightning
motto is
bolts like stand for like the N or something? Or no?
no.
Or just
That's
oh
just like I told you. That's just the It's it's a symbol of power in the outlaw culture.
oh yeah.
Now, this says Argo
Argo.
Nunya.
Mm.
It means Argo fuck yourself, none your business. So I
I
kind
thought that
of
was his
wanted
name
to.
or some shit.
No.
Oh,
That's
I
just
feel
their
like a
motto.
dumbass.
So
Oh,
that was the last club that he was in. He was assassinated. Unfortunately, very sad. I never got the pleasure of meeting him, but I wanted to dedicate this episode to him, Frank Guns Rosado. I wish we could have met. I'm gonna meet him one day because all bikers go to heaven.
yeah.
And chop it up with him and hope he knows that night I wasn't coming for beef. I was coming just to get the information. I was just doing what I was told.
Of course.
Unfortunately, it was under false pretenses. And of course, Joey didn't want to take the rap, but he's a cool guy. He's in the same club. He's in the Pagans as well. He's a 1%er himself.
Mm.
So, I wish him the best of luck. And I had nothing but love for the guys in Jersey. They were a great club. They loved me and Tank. They were like, yo, fuck Nick. Bring Gerry and Tank out here, man. Nick was that old school Italian that had no personality, had always mean mugging, miserable, and he was a scumbag. He was cheating on his wife. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Beat if real 1%ers. This is what a 1%er is. They go to work every day. They take care of their family. They're loyal to their wives. They don't cheat on their wives. They don't hit their wives. They ride. They don't scam the system. They don't even live off the system, bro. And I'm not, no disrespect to people who struggle. I'm not wealthy. I live a comfortable life, but I worked hard to get to where I am.
Yeah.
Just like you with this podcast, you're working hard at it.
I was trying to grind to it to try to get to the top,
nothing
man.
comes easy.
Yeah, of course.
So, shout out to all the real 1%ers, especially Sos the Ghost. Check out Demons Road TV. He's a good one. He's a real biker. He's from the same neighborhood as I am. And his podcast blew up. Well, his channel. He's got 2 channels now. He's got Sos the Ghost YouTube, which is I sent you the video with him riding and talking at the same time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I seen
Yeah,
that
that's a
video. Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's a really good one. And he's got his Demons Row, so that's why I wear the hat. I support him
Oh
too.
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Because I recognize the real bikers. I support the real ones, not these ones who club hop, not the ones who, you know, just come into the club as a full patch member, or not even the ones who, they don't even ride. Like, how can you come into a club without a bike?
Wait, yeah, how does that make sense? Like,
It doesn't make any sense. Like, I love my bike. You've seen my bike.
oh yeah, I've
You've
seen it.
seen
Yeah,
my
yeah,
road
you sent
ride.
me pictures. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's like that bike is my passion. So it's like, I want to ride. Like I said, I ride with Cisco, and like I said, when I ride with him, I'm good. He rides with me. He knows we're both good. We don't have to worry about each other. So we're both looking out for each other. So that's what the brotherhood is all about. You walk in together, you walk out together.
So
You
it's like
know,
family, basically. It's like a second family.
it is. It's your extended family.
Yeah, it
But
is.
for myself, I just been thinking a lot. Now that I'm going to be 33 next month, so I know the culture a lot more now than I did, 6-7 years ago when I was young. So I'm still young, but now that I'm wiser,
Yeah,
now I kind of jumped into the club scene too fast. I should have hung around a lot longer and got to know the players and everything. But
but you
now I'm
learn.
like, you know what? Now you live, you learn, you grow.
Yeah,
So I decided I'm gonna continue to be an independent 1%er. Not gonna join a club. If the day comes and I meet a club that's got values and loyalty and tradition, and it's about family and like the 1%, maybe. But for right now, I'm Gucci with being independent. And
chilling,
like
feeling
I said,
comfortable right now.
the 1% diamond's been good to me. I've been very good to it. It's like my wedding ring. My wedding ring, and what the fuck it's still there. You can't see it,
Where?
but it's still there. The
Oh, yeah,
diamond.
yeah, yeah, I see that. Yeah, yeah.
So my wedding ring and that diamond, I'll never betray both. My wife and the culture.
Culture. Yeah.
Those I'll never betray
Two
both.
important things in life.
Exactly. And that's the thing about 1% is like, God forbid, if something had like, for example, if something happened in the middle of the night, like if my wife had to go to the hospital and I'm at work and I call Cisco, yo, can you just run to the house? My daughter's sleeping. Can you just stay in the living room? God forbid she wakes up, and
Yeah.
give her like a bottle of milk. I know he'll say, yeah. You know,
Yeah, of course.
that's what the 1% is. It's not, sometimes, when it's time to go, it's time to go. Whether you want to or not. Sometimes it's just, a brother breaks down on the side of the road, and if he calls you for help, are you going to pick up the phone or are you going to roll over? What type of guy are you going to be? That's what the 1% looks for. They 9 times out of 10 they test you to see if you're going to pick up the phone. All right, let's call Gerry and say we broke down the side of the road. Let's see if he picks up the phone. Obviously you pick up.
Yeah.
And if it really is an emergency, you'll know it's time to go, help the brother on the side of the road out, or whatever it may be. And if you don't pick up the phone, it's like, well, why didn't you pick up the phone? You're the prospect. You're supposed to pick up. And the guy was on the side of the road, 3:00 in the morning, broken down, no gas. You were that selfish, you're going to pick up the phone?
Yeah.
So that's what they look for. They just look for good
Loyalty.
guys, stand-up guys. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the culture now has a lot of bad apples in it, which is a shame. There's so many people who rock a diamond that I see myself. I'm like, you don't deserve that shit. It's like I was off from work on Monday because I got to do a double tonight and another double on Tuesday.
Oh.
So it's not bad. I'm off tomorrow anyway, so I'm good.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
So I was on the highway riding, in the early morning, afternoon, and I noticed in the mirror there was another guy pulling up next to me. Now, he was a 1%er. He was in a club called The Outcast. Now, here's the rule. When you're on the highway, you're not allowed, technically, to go past the 1%er. You have to ask his permission. You go like, can I go ahead of you? And if he nods your head, you go. That's just a sign of respect on the road. Now, he pulled up next to me. I waved to him. He waved to me. Instead of going past me, he starts to ride with me. So we start to ride together, which was kind of cool, because I'm a 1%er myself, but I'm not active. I'm not wearing a cut. He's, a member of the Outcast, which is an all-black MC. And he pulled up next to me. said, "What's up?" And he rode with me for a good few miles,
Oh
and then
shit.
I had to go on my exit, and he kept going his way. But that feels really good that an outlaw recognized another one, and instead of going past me, he rode with me. And the cars behind us, they stood back. They stood back.
Oh really?
Yeah, no, they knew, because I was in the right lane, he was in the middle lane. So
Mm,
they stood back. But
yeah,
it was an honor for that.
of course.
Because they've been around. That club's been around a long, long time.
Mm.
So and you have clubs that it's some of the clubs follow the prison politics, so they don't let certain nationalities in.
Oh,
Like
that's that.
yeah, because if you go to prison, you click up with your own kind. So it's like the Outcast MC, they're an all black MC. They don't take Latinos or white boys because they want to
Yeah.
stick with they know. There's a club called the Thunder Guards, which has been around a long time. They take blacks and Latinos, but they don't take white boys, because of prison. They follow the prison politics.
Yeah.
There's a club called Wheels of Soul. They take everybody. They started out as an all black club, and then they broke that barrier down. They let in everybody. Because recently, me and my wife and my daughter went away to the Catskills for a weekend, and we're driving, and I saw a full patch Wheels of Soul. I'm like, oh shit, that's a white dude. And I'm like, because all the Wheels of Soul that I've seen have all been black, which is cool. I'm not against any nationality, any race in the club. Some of the clubs just like to stick to their own. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes it's better that way,
Yeah, that's how I
because
like it.
you just know. It's, and people will say it's racial. It's not. It's just, look, a lot of guys in 1% clubs follow the prison politics, because that's why there'll never be a black Hell's Angel, because of prison politics.
Of course.
That's why there's never going to be a black Mongol, because of prison politics. HA, they take Latinos and white boys. Mongols take Latinos and white boys.
Yeah.
I look, gotcha. Because of the prison politics. That's all it is. It's not like a racial thing. It's just, if you went to prison, if you're like, okay, like if I'm a member of Wheels of Soul and it's a mixed club, technically I'm going to be neutral, but I have to click up with my own inside. That's just the rules. So I'd have to click up with the Aryan crew. I don't want to, but or if you don't, you could be on your own. You'd be a free fish. Which, if you're in a club that's mixed, fuck it,
Yeah, go for it.
fuck it.
Yeah.
Someone tries to test you in the yard, break them. That's it, or at least try to.
Yeah, let's try. What's the worst that could happen?
That's all it is.
Yeah, of course. You have anything else to share that you'd like to share?
No, man. I just love that
No?
this was our third interview.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already the
No?
third one.
Yeah, man.
It's
I'm
crazy.
sure
I
you're
mean, it
doing.
landed on a perfect day because usually what's it called?
Yeah,
I do my
because
episodes every Thursday.
now that you're back in school, and like, even though my days off are Friday, Saturday, see my daughter, she gets out of pre-K at 2:20, and I pick her up on Fridays at 2:20, and then we go to get McDonald's and come home, put her down for her nap. And the past couple weeks we've been going away for the weekend, so it's been hard.
Mm.
So it was just perfect this week you had off, so we can get it done today.
Oh yeah, and I only have 2 days of school. It was Monday and Wednesday because of
Yesterday.
like voting, elections, and all that shit. I was like, all right.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
awesome.
I don't pay attention to that shit, but just give me the days off of school. Because then I
I hear
also
you.
have like work on like Friday and Saturday, so that's why
Yeah, I
if
remember
I
you
didn't
told me
have
that
off
too.
this
Yeah.
week, then yeah, it's probably gonna be really busy. Because my time that I work is probably
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 to like 11 or like 12 at night.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so it's crazy. So I can't really do like or Friday or Saturday, or
Yeah,
depends
no,
what
I
week.
hear you on that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like push back like two
No, I know.
weeks and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to push it back either, but it's just timing was bad. So, but
Oh yeah, no, there's just a lot
that's
of we're
good.
just busy, man.
I think I'm in the Ghetto Podcast Hall of Fame because I got
Oh
the
yeah, you are, bro.
third interview.
Hey, out of all the scenes that I'm gonna have, all the scenes I'm gonna do, be marked down Hall of Fame. Have it.
There we go.
You're the one that what's called brought in the most viewers, and also the one that's coming back the most.
Yeah,
People
I'm happy.
love to
I
hear your
love
shit.
it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
of course. Would you like to shout out anybody out before we wrap up this episode?
Yeah. Oh, you, of course, my cousin. Thank you for putting me back on the
Yeah, no
podcast
problem,
for
man. Anytime.
number 3. My wife Christina, my daughter Gia, Cisco, of course, my brother, Dara, of course, rest in peace, Frank Guns Rosado. Much love, my brother, which we could have met. Shout out to Soast the Ghost, another legit 1% biker. And shout out to all the real 1%ers, the ones that, live the code of honor, not the ones who sabotage it. So let's keep this culture legit. Let's keep it 100. Let's not bring these, as Soast the Ghost would say, culture vultures into the club scene anymore. Let's keep this lifestyle legit.
Yeah, keep it loyal, legit.
Loyalty, family, brotherhood, honor, respect. That's all it's about.
Not this fake pussy shit.
Nah, exactly. There's too many of those.
Yeah, especially nowadays. That's all I gotta say. Nowadays.
Oh yeah, shout out to Joe Canoli and Sonny Dayton's as well.
So this is gonna wrap this episode. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and also to turn on post notifications whenever I drop out a new video. And this episode is gonna be on every single podcast and platform. So make sure to go stream that, download it, do whatever you have to do. Go support this episode. And guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a nice day, everybody.